With the US winning the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, it made me very intrigued. When majority of us think about the US, we commonly know as one of the unhealthiest countries in the world. The US constantly tops the medal table at the Olympics, showcasing its ability to perform well across a broad spectrum of sports. With a large population and robust sports infrastructure, the US has a significant advantage over other countries. But according to the Global Burden of Disease study, the US ranks poorly in many health indicators. Obesity rates are over 40%, and chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes are spread around the country to the roof, which raises the question, how does a nation with significant such health challenges can perform so well and produce a good number of world-class athletes? Experts suggest that the success of the US athletes can be attributed to several key factors. Starting with the elite training infrastructure. The US invests heavily in state-of-the-art training facilities. The US Olympics Committee spends millions annually on the athlete development, ensuring that they have access to the best coaching, medical care, and technology. Also, as an ex-college athlete, we cannot forget how important and how big is the college sports system in the US. We have many of the athletes that were in the Olympic Games this year representing the US, but they're still only college students. With scholarships, rigorous competitions, and a clear pathway to professional sports, college athletes are honored to compete at the highest level. Another factor that could influence and differentiate between other countries, including mine, Brazil, is that the US give a lot of opportunities for these young colleges and high school kids to practice sports. In a first world country like the US, opportunities are plentiful. Access to top-tier education, healthcare, and sports facilities is easier than in many parts of the world. But here's the thing. Despite living in a country where the environment is designed to provide opportunities, people still make choices that lead them to an unhealthy lifestyle. You are not a product of your environment, you're a product of your decisions. A study published by the Journal of the American Medical Association found that while genetics play a role in health outcomes, lifestyle choices like diet, exercise, and mental health management are far more significant in determining overall well-being. Even in the US, where the system creates ups and downs, the environment alone does not determine our fate. It's our choices that do that. Which leads me to think that the US offers an interesting paradox. On one hand, it's a country where athletes have strong access to some of the best resources, including professionals, infrastructure, and education. On the other hand, it's also a place where a poor lifestyle, sedentarism, and fast food diets are incredibly common. In fact, despite the abundance of opportunities, nearly 42% of Americans are obese, and many struggle with preventable chronic conditions. They show that even in a resource-rich environment, personal choices are the key determine the success of our health. Let's use as example Michael Phelps, recently elected the greatest Olympian of all time. Phelps is the most decorated Olympian in history, with 23 gold medals to his name. He's definitely a once-lifetime athlete. There's no discussion about that. And for sure, he definitely has some advantage genetics. To be in that level and to be an Olympian, you need to have that degree of genetics. His long arms, big feet, lung capacity certainly give him a head in the game of swimming. Here's the thought that triggers me. Many athletes across the world have the same genetics or even better than him, but yet none of them have come even close to do what he have done. What makes him so special? Of course, there is other major components and key factors playing in this equation for Michael Phelps to be so successful. Maybe because he's American, you might think. But here's the thing. Phelps is not special just because of his genetics or the fact that he's American, but because the unique combination of choices that he made. His rigorous training regimen, meticulous attention to the diet, and the environment he crafted for himself were all crucial to his success.
I mean, a breakfast would have been, 2 breakfast sandwiches, a bowl of grits, omelet, short stack of chocolate chip pancakes, and then I'd go take a nap. And then I'd wake up, have, a bagel and a power bar, or a bagel and some fruit.
He would come in here after swimming 5 miles in the morning, and we would feed him 2 breakfast sandwiches and a bowl of grits, and then he would have probably a Western omelet with some home fries, and sometimes French toast, but always 3 chocolate chip pancakes.
My point isn't that anyone can become a Michael Phelps. He's definitely a unique and special athlete and human being. But rather than even in a country known for its unhealthy habits, where hot dogs and hamburgers are the most famous food, Phelps managed to rise and shine above all and become the greatest Olympian in the history. Michael Phelps is a testament of power, of personal choices. He's the proof that you can make your own environment. And by choosing the right things, making better decisions, you can lead to have a success in your own field, even if you live in a country commonly known to be one of the most unhealthy ones across the world. He didn't let his environment dictate his outcome. Instead, he created an environment that allowed him to thrive. So we go back to the question, why does the US perform so well in the Olympics, despite being one of the most unhealthy countries worldwide? As we see, it's a combination of factors: a large diversity population, substantial investment in sports infrastructure, a strong college system, and significant financial and media support. Even though the average American might stress and struggle with health, the top 1%, those who become Olympians, benefit from resources and systems designated to maximize their potential. In a sense, the success of the few does not reflect the success of the many. Which reminds me that if you want to succeed and be part of the top 1%, to do what 99% of the people don't, become part of a community that is looking to maximize the resources and systems provided to us, and make better choices and not let the environment dictate ourselves by choosing a better diet, living a better routine, and picking the right people to be around. Welcome in a community where we not only have top athletes, but weekend warriors looking to become a better version of themselves. And no, I'm not selling you anything. I'm just introducing you to a community of people that are looking to be better. Not better than others, but better than you were yesterday. Because remember, motivation is what gets you started. A habit, it's what keeps you going. And that's why despite everything, the US remains a force within the world sports. With that said, as always, stay healthy and let's talk nutrition. By the way, don't forget to subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers until the end of the year.